This is what we're doing here.
We're live. We're live right now.
Oh, we're live right now?
Yeah. Like literally right now.
Oh, like right now. I'm tweeting something really quick. Oh,
like
shit.
We're so live that I could say hello to Billy, Christy, and Red Hood 23 and Todd.
What's up, Todd?
Special thanks to Billy and Christy, who were just in the chat for my Mother's Little Helpers live interview with three ladies that I absolutely adored. That was such a pleasure. It was so much fun. And it was a great pregame for the Merri Hour.
Do we do our thing now?
Oh, dude, you just want to go for it. Ready?
Yeah, let's go for it. This is not twist off. I'm pissed. Go.
Oh, no.
You got to do your thing.
2, 3. Yours made a better sound than mine did.
It did. It's because of the can opener. But hold on, my
what is that?
Predator can opener.
Of course, you have a Predator can opener. Do you know what my hand sanitizer was when I flew to New York? It was my Predator hand sanitizer from Tiff.
Oh yeah.
Apparently they just gave that out.
The Predator. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, the Predator and Predator are two very different things.
Yes, Bonesaw's ready.
What?
Bonesaw.
You don't? Do you know Bonesaw?
I mean, I know the quote. What? Wait.
There's someone who, when Movie Talk was the thing, used to be the first commenter in almost every single live stream that would just, in all caps, say Bonesaw's ready.
That's fantastic.
So it's just like when I see that in YouTube on live stream, like that's immediately what I think about.
If you're gonna have a gimmick, Bonesaw's a great gimmick. I'm okay with that.
So wait, tell me, what are you drinking?
Today it's the Kona Big Wave, just a nice little golden ale. Trying to feel summery because it's like, again, 90-something degrees over here. I even wore sleeves because I got yelled at the first time for not wearing sleeves. So you're welcome, viewers.
So I'm drinking a Blue Moon.
I've never. What is that, Perri?
Right, it's some like crafty beerness. Someone just described it to me as the Prosecco of beer, so it makes a whole lot of sense that I like it.
You know what? That is very true. Actually,
isn't it? When she said it, I'm like, huh.
Because I still remember.
Good point there.
Like in college, we kind of did drink Blue Moon because it was like, ooh, Blue Moon is not Coors Light or something like that. And then we accidentally got a Blue Moon keg for my graduation party, not on purpose. Like I ordered a light beer keg because we were gonna play beer pong and stuff like that. The place shipped the wrong one. So we had a whole night of heavy drinking on Blue Moon. And when I say everyone got sick that night because it was just it was just so heavy on your stomach. And we're dumb college kids, or pre-college even, like playing beer pong and chugging it like it's like Miller Lite. Not a great thing. Not great.
I feel like you shouldn't have said the word Blue Moon keg to me, because now that makes me want one. Also, I never got the chance to tweet the live link, so I'm doing it right.
Tweet the live link.
Now.
Yes, Christy. It was horrible.
I had that other thing right before. Oh my God, we already have a super chat from Billy. Man, Billy, you're the best. Because like this comment is just the best too.
Answer the question, Perri.
You know my answer.
I mean,
how about we guess each other's answers? Shit, I don't think I could guess yours.
I don't know if you can guess mine. I mean, for you,
I don't know. I think I just dug myself a hole with that.
Yeah, I mean, for you, it's Scream, right?
Yeah, of course.
The obvious Scream. Let's go ahead. I'll give you 3. You got 3 guesses, and I will tell you, it is pre-2000s, pre-90s, and it's a horror comedy.
Wait. Pre-2000s and pre-90s.
Yeah, I mean, I started pre-2000s, and I figured, screw it, I'll make it easier. So pre-90s, and it's a horror comedy.
Is it Gremlins?
It's up there. You got 2 more guesses.
Comedy.
There's a famous dance scene in a graveyard.
Is there an Evil Dead movie? What am I thinking of?
Return of the Living Dead.
Oh.
Come on, man.
Oh, wow. I never would have guessed that was your favorite.
It's like, I mean, Child's Play is up there. Child's Play is up there. Evil Dead 2, all that stuff is up there. But forever for me, like, I like the sound, like the rock vibe, the punk vibe. You get the cast that just goes for it 100%. So Return of the Living Dead is my
This is making me rethink everything. I know, like, I don't think in a million years I would have guessed that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's always been a favorite. And but I mean, it's just a rotating question. Oh crap, we're doing that? Right. Okay, my bad. All right, I'm on like 3 then.
Didn't we have another game we were gonna play today?
We were gonna try to get some of our I think here's what we do for next time.
There was a shot thing though.
We both get a either a chat user or one of our followers to tell us separately. We have to do a shot when the other person does something. So we try to get something where we can plan like that. So
all right.
Everyone that's in the chat right now, think about a good shot rule for me and Perri next year.
Next week.
Yeah.
You just said next year.
Next. Wow. Okay. Sorry. I've been working really hard this week. I think I wrote 7 reviews and a bunch of other articles. So
we should talk about what we've been up to because we've both been up to a lot. But first, Andrew has a super chat. Big fan of you both. Dying to make your horror themed sneaker. What? You're dying to make our horror themed sneakers one day? Should I be aware of your sneakers?
You should go to I Want Customs on Instagram. I believe that's what it is. Andrew, correct me if I'm wrong.
Is that Andrew's thing?
That is Andrew's thing. And that's exactly what it does. He makes custom shoes for people.
I'm sorry. I Want Customs on Instagram?
I believe that's what it is.
Holy shit. I'm like so excited to check it out.
Yeah, no, you know what I think I might have to do? I might have to get those custom horror shoes because I was going to get the Alien Day shoes this year. And they just are ugly, man.
Oh, he just put it. I Want Custom shoes. I Want Custom shoes. Thank you, Andrew.
But yeah, I was gonna get the Alien Day Combat high tops this year, and they're just so ugly. And I say that owning the bright yellow pair and the glow in the dark xenomorph ones, but maybe the money that was gonna go towards that should go to custom horror shoes.
Andrew, I'm following you on Instagram. Oh my god.
This is for everyone. Follow I Want Custom Shoes on Instagram. This is a verified endorsement.
Wow. I'm very impressed. Those the Jason Vans speak to me because all Vans speak to me if I'm being completely honest.
Also,
these are really cool. I'm very impressed. Oh, I just got to the Us sneakers now.
Us sneakers, yep. Just random shout out. A bunch of people are talking about Lake Mungo in the chat, and
I need to rewatch Lake Mungo.
Yeah, really randomly. I watched it in October. Great. Yeah, it's great, absolutely fantastic. So whoever's talking about Lake Mungo, good on you. But I just want to do a little pat on the back.
So Matt, tell us what you've been up to this week.
I mean, I've been up to just bearing down on ridiculous horror screeners. I've posted like 3 1-star reviews and then like 1 no-star review. Like it's been a bad week for new release horror, and that's coming from me.
Wait, what are the bad titles? Because I have to tweet a couple things, but what I think happens is you tweet when you're about to watch something, and then if I don't follow the thread through, I never find out what happened.
Oh yeah, because I'll tweet when I'm watching it, and then I don't want to like immediately dive into a review before actually writing it and posting it, so then I'll do it after that. But yeah, so the really bad ones were one here. What was Matt watching this week? Matt watched Human Zoo, which is we'll call it found footage. Basically, it's a reality show called Solitary Confinement, and you watch as contestants are put in solitary confinement, and every room has a camera. So like it's a live stream. It's like it's the first reality show that's real or whatever they want to call it. So you watch the feed as if you're a viewer. And of course, something goes wrong where there's no doors in any of the cells, and no one finds it weird at first. They just think they're like in some game show and they're going to win $1 million. And then it never cuts away from the feed. So what's happening is you are watching what would be the show that is live streaming if it were real. And there's like no editing. There's no anything. It's just watching actors play people who realize they're trapped. That's it. And that's an hour and 45-minute movie. And you see like 20 minutes to begin where it's like interview bullshit. And then it just cuts into that. And then it just ends. Nothing is explained. You don't see anyone but the people. And like, it is the most pointless movie I've ever seen in my life. That actually,
there's your
my blood boil. So that was Human Zoo. But yeah, then I watched a creepy doll horror anthology that was absolutely atrocious. There was like a leprechaun doll that looked like, I don't know, it looked like they were all made from like Michael's craft store, like bargain bin bullshit. What the hell else did I watch? There was another 1-star. There was one called...
Didn't you watch one with like the word mother in the title?
Wait, A Good Woman is Hard to Find?
What was it?
I watched A Good Woman is Hard to Find. And
maybe that's what I'm thinking about. I think I'm like mishmashing like Mother's Day and like scary lady horror.
Yeah, so ignore all that crap. The only two movies on VOD for horror that you want to worry about this week are Z, which hits Shudder. Z is fine. I don't mean not to be a dick about it, but like Z is fine. It's serviceable. Found like haunted house stuff. There's an imaginary friend, and it has a few good scares. So watch Z if you'd like to. And then A Good Woman is Hard to Find is a womanly revenge thriller, basically about a mother whose children are endangered, and you don't want to go that route with this mother. And yeah, that's all you need to know. So A Good Woman is Hard to Find is Z. Look out for those.
C's been busy. You've been watching a lot of stuff.
All this, the new Into the Dark that came out this week. I watched that.
Is it good? Shit, Matt.
It's Into the Dark, fine. And that's the best way I can say it.
Yet. But that depending on how much I drink tonight, I'm either going to watch that tonight or I'm going to watch it tomorrow morning. But I have to watch it because I'm moderating the post live viewing Q&A. So what they're trying to encourage people to do is to watch the movie before, and then we're going to go live in a whole bunch of locations. It's going to be me, the director Emma Tammy, and two of the stars from the movie, and we're going to broadcast that conversation live on my YouTube channel, my Twitter, the Blumhouse Facebook page, and the Blumhouse Twitter. So everybody out there, like, I love Blumhouse. I want to keep working with Blumhouse. Go watch that. And, I've interviewed Emma Tammy before, and regardless of how I feel about that, I do think she is a very talented creator, and I'm really looking forward to checking it out.
It's again, it's the whole thing where Emma Tammy, I really wanted, you wanted better things for her because she is wildly talented after The Wind. The Wind is so atmospheric and moody, and like that is a film you can kind of dive into. Delivered was never going to be that. Delivered was always going to be one note because these directors were given. I know, I'm not. I'm just saying these directors were given 17 days to make a feature, and they're given a script that they have no control over, and it's just like, you're setting someone with so much vision up for failure from the beginning, and it just kind of sucks.
It's the moving train thing. You're jumping aboard a speeding train. Here, wait, I have the graphic handy. Let's see what happens when I try to put it up. Oh, look, it came up so nicely.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Isn't that cool?
Tina's great. Tina is fantastic in it. I love
I'm
her
so
in
excited.
Delivered. Yeah.
But this is the deal for tomorrow night. So please come join, come ask questions. It's just going to be a good time talking about horror with some really awesome ladies. So I'm very much looking forward to that.
Also, wait, I want to call out. So Billy said that Rubber was the worst movie he's ever seen. And I'm going to say this. I love Rubber. I think it's a great satire on what it's trying to accomplish. And I don't know. I like Rubber. And also, Thanksgiving, there's a time and a place for that.
I wouldn't say I love Rubber.
I do.
But I was very amused by the idea of a killer tire.
A telekinetic that can like mind blow. Yeah.
It's like, I kind of want a tire.
You kind of want a tire that can do that? No, that's
not how much I love my movie props and stuff. Like, can't I just like put a tire in my bedroom?
Also, I've cut my hair like 5 times.
I know, I saw. It's terrible. We should, if like we got really intense with the drinking games thing, and if Dewey would be on, I feel like I should set up a third camera, and it should
just Dewey.
It should be a Dewey cam, and every time Dewey, I don't know, what the fuck does Dewey do often? Like, he licks his butthole all the time. Every time Dewey licks his butthole on the camera, we have to drink.
I mean, I feel like there could be a better rule in there somewhere. I don't know if we need to be looking for that.
It was the first thing that came to my mind. Like, what do cats do all the time?
Like 7,000 other things, Perri.
I know, probably.
There's a ton of other things they do.
Did I tell you about my latest Dewey drama?
No. Wait, I think you might have.
I posted a picture of it on Instagram because I was like, when it happened last night, I was like aware enough and not exhausted. So I was able to actually take a picture of it. But I keep waking up in the middle of the night on like the tiniest sliver of the side of my bed. Like, as in, I am waking up because I'm almost going to fall off the bed because Dewey keeps sleeping. Like, I don't know what I do in my sleep, but he keeps positioning himself like right smack in the middle of the bed and putting his fucking head on my pillow.
So, number one, can you pull this picture up really quick somehow? Because your comment is basically that Dewey is taking up 90% of your bed. And I mean, he's on maybe 10%. Right. I mean, number one, we're being a little dramatic here.
No, he's okay. Like, when you think about an 8-pound cat, maybe he is in a smaller percentage of it. It's no, this picture doesn't give it to scale well enough. Here, wait.
Even not that's the whole point, though. It's not even to scale, and he's still just a little tiny cat in the corner of the bed. You're like, oh, take up the whole thing.
He's like a little nugget in the bed. Hold on.
Also, wait, while you're looking this up, I want to shout out to S. Gray on the chat, because they did reach out to me after I was talking about Native American horror, and they told me to go check out Imprint, which I did not do yet. But I wanted to say thank you for the recommendation, and it is on my list as of now because I am looking for more stuff like that. So appreciate you reaching out and saying that.
Where can we watch Imprint?
I have no idea. I didn't get to that yet.
Okay. All right. You want the picture?
Yes.
This is the picture.
Again, how is that 90% of the bed, Perri?
But it's not. I told you, it's not to scale. It's not to scale.
That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
For the next hour?
Yeah, we just have to keep going in and out from whatever picture's up.
That's not to scale. That's like the tiniest sliver of my bed.
Wait, that's ridiculous. I'm always going to go the wrong way first.
I'm super allergic to him. So it's like if he inches up towards like face area in the bed, I need to creep away. So I guess I creep away so far, but then he puts his fucking head on my pillow.
It's sure cat problems. I get it. Should we use the Dewey segue to talk about?
Yes, please.
The biggest news of the week. That
I'm so excited to talk about this.
I feel like I should just let you ramble on. No, not at all. This is you. I feel like you have to just take this conversation topic and I'll jump in.
I was so well read on like the news that got out there because I know that some things got out and then they were pulled down.
I mean, we can take them.
I'm on Sci-Fi Wire right now. So that's the report that I'm going to reference. And they're citing a recent interview with Rotten Tomatoes with, of course, Neve Campbell, who's out promoting the movie Castle in the Ground, which I actually covered at TIFF, and she's quite good in it. I know we're all obsessed with her in Scream. I'm very obsessed with her in Scream, but I don't know. She needs a little more credit as being a dramatic actor too. But anyway, the quote is, "We're having conversations. I have been approached about it. The timing's a bit challenging because of COVID. You know, we only started the conversation maybe a month and a half ago, so it's going to take some time to figure out how it's all going to work out. We're negotiating, so we'll see." So I believe that's the extent of the quote. Yeah.
And I mean, to say what you're talking about, we're talking about Neve Campbell in Scream 5.
I'm just making sure none of these quotes are from the same interview.
Rotten Tomatoes was the one that posted it. I mean, Rotten Tomatoes was the one that reported it, and it is a report at this point. We don't know when things can shoot again, so like that's enough of a question to see how things can time out. But as of now, we have to assume that Neve Campbell will be in Scream 5.
I mean, that is how I read it, even though her comments don't necessarily confirm it, and that isn't the equivalent of a studio confirmation that she has been officially cast in the film.
Of course.
Why would she say that if talks really weren't happening and if it wasn't something that she genuinely wanted to pursue should the official opportunity arise? But I don't know, like, on the one hand, I'm putting my faith and trust in radio silence, and I'm going to stick with that. If they think it's best, I trust them as filmmakers, and I would assume that they would have an idea that would do the character justice and call for her return in a meaningful manner for the story.
So, all right. So, I mean, I want to hear from you, though, what you see as a meaningful manner, because
which is what I'm having a hard time with.
I've seen everything on the internet basically saying that she should do a villain turn, which would be the fucking dumbest thing that you can do.
I don't understand how you justify that. Like from a character arc perspective, it's just, given that everything Sidney Prescott has gone through, but more specifically, just looking at the events of Scream 4. So, all right. I mean, we're going to spoil Scream 4. That was inevitable here, but I mean,
all the spoilers on the table. This whole franchise has been out for a little bit.
The darkness in Sydney's life, I feel, has always come from, like, of course, what happened with her mother, but also because of her involvement and how the killers and the death follows her, and it sucks everybody in around her. And that's the repetitive theme from film to film. And now with Scream 4, not only has she had a whole bunch of young teenagers die at her expense, but also the remainder of her family. So even though they do survive the events of Scream 4, as in, Dewey, Gale, and Sydney, I would think she would walk away from an experience like that in an even darker mind frame than she would be before, which worries me because that makes me recall the misery of the vision she had in Scream 3. And I don't want to go through that again.
I mean, I keep thinking of the way they kind of treated the character Laurie Strode in the new Halloween and how they are able to do a family arc in that. And I'm wondering,
Laurie was different though. They retconned.
They did retcon, but there's nothing that says they can't retcon in a Scream 5. I mean, we're talking about
Don't even put those words out in the world.
There's how many Texas Chainsaws
need a retcon?
Child's Play didn't need a remake. Texas Chainsaw didn't need 17 retcons. I don't know. I'm just saying.
No, Texas Chainsaw needed remakes and retcons. And as far as Child's Play goes, it isn't necessarily retcons coming from folks who respect the brand. That was a trying to make your money's worth, and the franchise diverging. This is Radio Silence, a group of filmmakers who I assume have great respect for Scream. I just think that and also I do think truly, not just because Scream is my second favorite movie of all time, I do really think that Scream is one of the most consistent slasher franchises out there. And that in and of itself means retcon is not an option and shouldn't be an option. Sorry, I'm schwitzing over this. That stressed me out, Matt.
I 100% get it. We just have to think about all the realities. This is what I do. I just keep thinking about worlds where the original creators aren't really around to say certain things, and I'm not saying it would be Radio Silence. I'm not saying it would be anyone's specific choice. I just think studios sometimes get a little chop happy and they want to do things that might be interesting to some viewers, and that a retcon might happen. I don't know.
What do you think about the possibility of Sydney dying in Scream 5?
I think
that was another thing someone brought up to me.
I think that's probably the best. I not the best in the way of I hope it happens, but I think that's the best chance of happening, because if you have Sydney dying, that can be the catalyst for a lot of other things you can do with future Scream movies. And we haven't, Scream 4, what was that? How long ago was that?
2011.
Okay. So we're almost 10 years away from Scream 4.
I got that right. Everyone in the chat go pester Christian about making an exhibition match for the Scream franchise.
Do that. But anyway, though, it's been almost 10 years since the last Scream. I think if you're going to have a Scream 5 at this point, you're already thinking of 6. You're already thinking of stuff that's in the future. And the death of Sydney could be a huge turning point for people that maybe care about her. Maybe someone is thrown into excessive turmoil because of that death. And there's a lot of things you can play off of from that death.
So wait, is what you're explaining paving the way to an opening sequence where Sydney died?
Oh, no. I'm talking about the end of the movie. I'm talking about next, Scream 6 and 7. I'm saying you let her go through the whole film. And again, her death is the catalyst for future sequels after that.
The only way I can see her dying work is if it's some sort of sacrifice in the end. Because I was talking with someone else who suggested maybe she could die in the opening sequence, but that's cotton all over. We don't need that. And that also does the character a disservice, and it feels like you're just using her to tee up your next thing. If Sydney is in the movie, she needs to be a big part of the movie, first of all. And if she makes it through to the end and has to die, the only way I think they can make that work is if it's a sacrifice to teach another character a lesson, as in a positive lesson.
Yeah, not as a gonna kill you lesson, again, because she will not be the villain. I know, I did it again 3 times.
And let's just put this out there. I need to say it to the world to make sure it doesn't happen. If Courtney Cox returns for Scream 5 and you cut those bangs back, I'm gonna find you.
They're gonna cut them.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. We're gonna have a firm talking to, but I'll be very, very upset.
A firm talking to. I mean, come on, her bangs were a little bit, a little much.
That, is it? Is it extreme to say that might be one of the biggest blunders of the entire Scream franchise? Like, what were those?
I have no idea. And that is not extreme because it's the one thing that stands out.
Those stresses me out.
It's an aggressive bang cut.
Take those emojis away right now. These are not okay.
No, those emojis are fine. Those emojis belong there. That is where they belong.
No, I don't approve of that.
I'm loving all these random castings in the chat right now. Like people suggesting. We got S. Gray make Kirby the new lead, and she has a younger sister played by like all of these random castings. Like that would be a legit.
I wish they could bring Kirby back. That was, even though I thought it was a good death scene, that's probably one of the Scream 4 deaths that I wish that I can undo. But it's funny you bring up Caitlin Dever, because I'm pretty sure I said it to her when we were chatting on Collider Connected. I'm like, you should hit up Radio Silence and get yourself into Scream 5. I just want to use my interview opportunities to plant the seeds for the Scream 5 package that I want to see.
Yeah, just keep dropping them in interviews, like get in little heads and stuff like that.
That's what I'm working on. In an effort to do that right now, let's keep S. Gray's Caitlin Dever. I would like to add Kelvin Harrison Jr. because I'd like to see him in everything.
Yeah, he's great.
He's so good.
Agreed.
So I also would I'm just trying to think of like people who are my favorites right now.
Are you like thinking like teenage age range though, or like is that where you're sticking?
Entirely, because I almost feel like, not that it's played out, but I guess it kind of is, because they tried the passing of the torch thing from generation to generation in Scream 4. So I think there's opportunities to just like play around and have a cool ensemble no matter what the age. Yeah. So I'm gonna go Caitlin Dever, Kelvin Harrison Jr.
Throw Anya Taylor-Joy in there.
I'll take Anya Taylor-Joy.
Anya, sorry.
Anya. I still say Anya all the time just because like I know people who spell their name that way and pronounce it Anya, but it's actually Anya. I would like Brita Wool from Mr. Mercedes, who I was just talking to for Mother's Little Helpers, which you can get on VOD right now. It's very good. Okay. But I just like her, so I want her to be in the movie. Who else did I talk to? I feel like I'm just racking my brain for all the people I spoke to recently and I really like, and I want to see them get good opportunities.
But I mean, like, it's all solid, though. Those are all solid choices.
I feel like I could think of another one right on the spot.
But like now I keep thinking of like what they can do with the Scream 5. Like, does it go back to high school? Does it go back to like that whole entire setting that we're talking about again? Or like it's just I keep thinking of, I don't know.
I'm trying to process what they did in the new Halloween movie that made me like it so much. And obviously they can't do a generational thing because Sydney's mother has passed. And we've also seen some of her family lose their lives in Scream 4. Yeah. But I don't know. Well,
I think
maybe that's a way to bring Dewey and Gale into it in a different way.
I also think that what makes Halloween, the remake work, the newest remake, sorry, that we all just saw, it's just that we haven't had a slasher in a long time that commits to the actual like slasher origins template, but it also made it modern. Like there's this divide between like 80s slashers and I guess what we call like a new wave slasher. Like the 80s were all like tits and gore, and it was, it's stuff that doesn't really appeal to audiences, where the Halloween that we got, it wasn't as like, kids just go off, have sex and die. Like there's more stakes in that. And there's just certain lines that never would have happened in an old school slasher. So like for me, I think Halloween works because it's a revamp and a remodeling of how slashers can continue forward in today's climate.
Well, that's the key, is how can Ghostface move forward in today's climate? Like, especially with his traditional like kill patterns.
My favorite just little tidbit is like going back and watching Scream and just realizing that you couldn't make Scream today because it literally relies on them not being able to get a phone call traced in like multiple days.
That's true.
Like the entire plot of the first one is like, well, we don't know who called. It's going to take multiple days to figure it out. So like, I hope no one dies before then.
That's a good point. They have to embrace technology, but they have to embrace it in a different way than what they did in Scream 4.
Yeah, agreed.
It's like, even though Scream 4 was ahead of its time with the live stream thing, the live stream thing has been done.
Yeah, to
Don't
death.
do that again.
Again, Human Zoo. I just watched that. That's a live stream movie, and even
I
like
hate
the
that game.
It's terrible. Again, I'm not bringing that up, but I'm just bringing it up to say, like, 100% that horror movies are embracing technology, and if you're going to get ahead, you kind of do. I mean, something as dumb as I kind of think Tragedy Girls in a way is the Scream of like that kind of generation. I think they do what Scream is all about. It's a meta horror slasher, and you have these two girls who are kind of killing people but doing it for fame and notoriety. So like we kind of already have the Scream for that digital era.
So here's an idea. What if the situation is, and like, admittedly, as I'm going to explain this, it sounds very surface level, but what if the situation is the stab movies and Scream, and the reality of Sydney's situation does inspire a Tragedy Girls, and like you bring Sydney in as some sort of not like a detective, but like an expert on the situation in order
to love that
person.
I think, again, one of the conspiracies, whatever you want to call it, like predictions people are making, is to make the stab movies real and like bring that into the story more than just that opening. And I think that would be brilliant. I think if you're going to go meta in an like somebody said in here, there's slasher in the chat that there's post-Scream and pre-Scream slashers. That's 100% true. That's just how they rewrote the rules and rewrote how to make a slasher. So I think if you're going to do that again, genuinely, and you're going to rewrite the rules yet again, use the Stab franchise to even metaphysically comment on Scream itself.
Here's a question where we can kind of reverse engineer a concept. What are the rules now? How have the rules changed?
The game has changed, but the players are the same. I don't know.
Are the players the same?
No, it's the complete opposite of that, actually.
Yeah.
It's the complete opposite of that.
I don't know. Maybe that's at least the starting point, that you take all these archetypes that we had in the mid 90s, you turn them on your head, and at least you have something fresh and different there.
Yeah.
And then it's like let's say we get this next Scream movie, and we all suspect that it's going to be some sort of big finish for the main trio that has been part of the franchise all along. Like, how do you turn what a happy ending would be for them on its head? You know what I mean?
I don't know if there is a happy ending in that world, because again, we're talking about the Scream world, and we're talking about.
It's incredible to me how easy I think it is to come up with another Final Destination concept, but I can't come up with one.
Because Final Destination is rinse and repeat. You don't have to think about anything in the future. You're not thinking about anything more than kills and how it starts.
But they did with Final Destination 5, and they did it very, very well.
They did.
Yes, they did.
I mean, they did.
You look like indifferent right now, and I don't like it.
I do look. I honestly, 3 is my favorite final, I think, outside the first one.
Oh, no, what's your final rankings?
No, I take it back. It goes like 2, 1, 3.
I'm happy that 2 is your favorite, because it's my
favorite. 200% favorite.
Yeah.
The bitchy lawyer is in Z, and it was so funny because I'm trying to place who like this actress was in the movie Z, and I'm like, oh, Final Destination 2.
The bitchy lawyer.
Yeah.
From Final Destination 2.
Yeah.
Keegan Connor Tracy.
Yeah.
I could also play a Schmodown for Final Destination if anyone wants to spam question about that too. Seriously could. I think I could recall every single death in order.
I mean, I couldn't do it in order, but I know a lot of them. I know a lot of them because, all right, so which is the one? I love how we just pivoted from Scream to Final Destination really quickly. I'm fine with this. But what's that one Final Destination death that you always think about in real life? Like when you're
the logs on the truck.
It is the log.
That's the one that I thought about most often. But I think if you're a New Yorker, you also think about the escape ladder falling.
That I was just going to say, the escape ladder
Final Destination 2
haunted my nightmares, just because walking home late at night, there's no one on the streets in like Brooklyn and stuff like that, and you're just walking down these like not alleyways, but again, it's like tighter streets and it's just very isolated. All of a sudden, just boom! Like I was waiting for every ladder just to fall on me. I'm just like, I don't like this.
Here are Christy's rankings. These are actually my rankings.
2, 1, 3, 5. Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah,
I think 3 and 5 though for me are very, very close.
I'm nostalgic about 3 because I got that dumb DVD that has the choose your own adventure. And I made all my friends sit down and they agreed to watch Final Destination 3 with me. And I accidentally ended the movie in 5 minutes and they wouldn't let me. We basically made it so they didn't get on the roller coaster and they all just went home and the movie ended. And they're all like, fuck this, we're not watching it now. I'm like, no, wait, guys, it's a good movie. And I was so mad.
The only garbage one in the franchise, and I just stole Billy's words because he's right. we can all agree 4 is garbage.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, here first, we also have Johnny submitting his rankings, and these are very respectable rankings too.
1, 2, 5, 4.
For the life of me, I can't understand 4. The only way I can understand 4 is just like one step in the creation of the movie, which is that at that time, everybody thought that 3D was going to be a real hot thing, and it didn't entirely pan out. But even though you see a hot thing to make money on the horizon, who in their right mind tailors a story to prioritize that over character development and other interesting script beats? I don't.
People who view Final Destination as what I said before, nothing but kills and an intro. That's it. Like
those people shouldn't be part of the behind the scenes of making those movies. You have no respect for the brand and the story then.
Yeah, but they have respect for money, and that's all they chase. I mean, that's the issue is that's all that some producers will chase, and they had an opportunity, and business wise, it was a good opportunity. But what you just said is they didn't give a shit beyond the gimmick. The gimmick was 3D kills. I mean, you're talking about the Saw 3D. You're talking about My Bloody Valentine 3D. Like that was a whole time, like a small period in horror that tried to resurge this whole 3D aspect, but. I mean, you got people in theaters. You got people seeing something that wasn't the norm at the time. I get it, but yeah, it's bullshit.
I just want to say this so we come back to it. I just put on the screen that Caleb put in a super chat. So thank you, Caleb. But also, I know that they just released the NFL schedule. So before we wrap this, let's come back to that. There's a lot of Final Destination stuff in this chat right now.
Yeah.
I'm not screening any of this, so guys, I trust you. S. Gray, when I went to Final Destination 3 in theaters still used film, and the film caught fire after Frankie's death, and I was mad as hell. They gave us free tickets and told us to come back.
That's hilarious. Yeah, that's
freaky for that movie. And also, I mean, I guess it would be freakier if it happened in 4.
That happened to me in Legion, that random Paul Bettany.
I remember that movie.
Yeah, it was. I went to see it because I was reviewing it or something, and the same thing happened. Like all of a sudden, the reel gets all like crinkly, and like you see the cigarette burns start getting bigger and bigger, and you're like, "What's going on?" All of a sudden, the lights go out, and you're like, "Oh, okay."
Man, I've had that happen, and the movie is escaping me because I feel like my brain is being clouded by the memory I have of seeing District 9 in Florida. We were visiting, I think we were visiting Lonnie when she was still at University of Miami. And go for it. We were visiting my sister who was attending University of Miami. And while we were in South Beach, we went to see District 9. And what happened was the film didn't burn up, but the fire alarm in the theater went off because the popcorn maker started smoking. So it's like there were 10 minutes left in District 9 and everyone had to like up and out of the theater. And then we came back in, sat back down, and they played the last 10 minutes of the movie.
I'm trying to think. I don't think anything else has happened but that one Legion screening. Everything else I think has been fine for me.
I can't remember what film I saw that burned up.
It's funny mentioning Frankie's death though, because Frankie's death was the one like you could get around in the Final Destination Select Your Own Adventure on your DVD player, and like I always did it, and like it's that one thing you just feel accomplished. You're like, yeah, I saved Frankie, but then he's a piece of shit, and you're like, damn it, why'd I save Frankie?
I ran. Oh wait, first, what's happening? Oh, here we go. Langley, how you doing, man? I haven't seen your name in a while. Curious, have you seen I See You with Helen Hunt? Have you? What is this?
So it's actually really cool. I actually liked I See You. It's part found footage, we'll call it, and part kind of like procedural murder mystery. Like it's the best way to describe it. And you get the same story told from 2 different perspectives of 2 wildly, vastly different scenarios, but they're happening simultaneously. And you don't like the way that they build it together and the way that they intermingle is, I think I See You is a pretty sharp new horror movie.
Oh my god, I might bump this up to the top of my to watch list. Thank you for that, Langley. I really want to see that right now.
It came out just at the end of 2019. I think it was like December. And yeah, that was one of the ones that it was the only midnighter I missed at South by last year, and I'm kind of pissed I did because I would have liked to kind of talk about it more before it came out, because it kind of came and went. Nobody really talked about it, and I wish more people did.
I'm getting really sensitive about South by again. It's also just like the after effects of that Mother's Little Helpers interview that I just did, because I interviewed them at South by last year, and I don't know. I think that's probably some of the most, and it's like surface level sensitivity because there's more reasons to be upset right now, but I don't know. I'm missing the film festival vibes right now.
Wait, I want to bring up, hold on, go to Red Hood's last comment. Has anyone seen?
Yeah, I had a feeling you were going for that.
Yeah. Has anyone seen Sweetheart? I love Sweetheart. Creature design is dope as hell, and I think Kiersey Clemons crushes that role.
Yeah, she definitely crushes the role. I liked it a lot. I think this is one that might have suffered from festival hype for me.
Fair. I understand that.
I was really pumped for it, and I really did like it. I think it's a very well done film, but I don't know. It just, I mean, you know how I operate at this point when I do ranked lists and stuff. Yeah. Usually what makes something rank higher is if I'm like dying to watch it again and again.
I get that.
I don't know. Sweetheart was fine, but it just didn't do that for me.
I think Sweetheart. What?
What are you drinking?
I'm going to make a margarita while you're talking. No, I think Sweetheart is one of the best creature reveals that I've seen in a damn long time. You just have that great moment where you haven't seen the monster, and for those who haven't seen it, we won't spoil it or anything, but there is a monster in the film. And a lot of creature features now, it's usually all CGI or they hide the practical behind shadows. And Sweetheart doesn't do either of those things. And the way they reveal it is so beautiful, where it's just a night. Basically, it's a woman trapped on an island, and she shoots a flare to distract I think it's an overflying plane. And as the red flare is kind of just drooping down in the background, going into the water, and Kiersey Clemons is looking on the beachfront, watching the plane go away, as her eyes go level with the water, the monster outlines in that red, and it's just staring right at her, and you're like, oh,
that's yeah. It's got a red shot.
I mean, aquatic creature features plus red, I'm in.
I was trying to think about what my red thing is. You know,
like your addiction, or
like not necessarily like a subgenre, but something that happens in a lot of horror movies that's like my visual thing. You know?
No, I get that. I'm trying to think what other things are there. I mean,
yeah, like I don't know.
Like for me, again,
I'm very into silhouettes.
Silhouettes work. Yeah. Silhouettes are really cool. So you're saying like a figure in the background or in a doorway that you don't really see?
Like for whatever reason, it might be because I was talking about this movie with Haley earlier, but it's like the still from The Lodge stands out to me, where Riley Keough the window with the snowy outside.
Yeah. What?
What are you pouring out of your Swell bottle right now?
Water.
Oh.
My margarita recipe is very slim. It's just tequila, water, and lime, and a little bit of blue agave.
I drink beer because there's no recipe. I just like unscrew it and I drink.
There's no recipe to this, and it's basically water and tequila, but you don't taste the tequila. It's beautiful.
What's that?
Blue agave.
Why aren't you giving everybody the recipe as you do it? Shame on you.
2 parts water, 2 parts tequila, 1 squirt of blue agave, and wait, I have to get my lime. Hold on. You keep talking about something. What's the next question? I'm just going to say that this is the benefit of like living in your own adult apartment. Oh yeah.
Is like, I can't do this shit with you guys because I have to like go downstairs and get another beer and then come back up. And it's just like, it's crazy.
Also, shout out to Christy. The Descent is great with reds. It's
also Christy. Should I open another drink? Matt, Christy is the coolest. She's the best, and she loves hanging out with us on Friday night. And I love having her in the Slack channel. I love having all of you guys in the Slack channel. And I'll just put this one up too, because The Descent is so good with the reds. And one of my favorite pieces of art in my apartment right now is like a cartoony spin on The Descent, which I absolutely adore. If Matt talks now, I can maybe find you the print.
I could talk for a little bit. Hold on, let me just go into it. So number one, Billy sent it. Dog Soldiers is excellent. Holy crap. Dog Soldiers is probably...
I haven't watched Dog Soldiers in forever.
It's one of my...
That one too.
We don't get enough werewolf movies at all. And Dog Soldiers continuously is like my comfort food. Just in the way that they use full practical, in the way that they like... It's like a military werewolf movie. And I can't get over some of those effects and the gore and the nastiness, but also the mythology. We need more Dog Soldiers in our lives.
Haley and I were talking about that with Issa Lopez, just how, like there's not enough in the werewolf subgenre.
Yeah,
I'm so excited that she's actually doing that. And I also found the poster Oh no! Oops, that was the wrong.
That's
thing.
not it.
That's a sarcasm.
What did you
If
do?
you want to watch Mother's Little Helpers, there's another plug for the movie. So wait, this is the poster that I have.
Wait, that's fantastic. Also,
Yeah.
we have another super chat if you want to
Do
put
we
that
really?
up.
Yeah, I do want to put that up.
Someone's coming for me right now.
No, it's Caleb. He's
I know,
talking about football again. Saw the schedule of the tech. Wait, what? All right, hold your horses, Caleb. I'm not
No. As someone who's yelling at Caleb for being
schedule, so I can see what's up.
As someone who's yelling at Caleb for being a Cowboys fan and me being a Texans fan, we're gonna get shellacked. Caleb is 100% right. We open with the Chiefs, and then we have three games that are just it's gonna be bad. Plus, we traded away DeAndre Hopkins for a bag of bones in David freaking Johnson.
Why did they do that?
I don't know. It's the dumbest trade in the world. Sorry for pivoting.
Like, granted, I'm new to fantasy football and like football drafts and all that stuff, but I can't make any sense of that move whatsoever. But the first game I think the Texans are against the Chiefs.
It's the Chiefs.
December 10th.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're gonna lose that. What's the deal with the Chiefs right now? Like, do they still have like the same core team intact?
Yeah, it's like they're fine.
Oh God. I see you in the chat, Ian. There's a whole bunch of like super cool people in this chat right now, and it makes me so happy. Look at that. We got a whole bunch of live viewers right now. Matt, this is like the highlight of my week.
It's 100. I'm literally just making drinks and talking about horror. Which tequila are you using? So usually hold on. That actually is a good question. So for the margarita I make, it's 2 parts water, 2 parts lime, 2 parts water, 2 parts tequila, half a lime, and a squirt of blue agave. It's tequila forward, but I use cheap crap. I just use Cuervo Especial or honestly Swaza, I think it's called. And it's the bottle is on sale for $9. And it disappears flavor-wise in here, and it's also like no calories and no nothing, so it's beautiful.
You're very into that lately. Like, it breaks my heart that you're sidestepping around the beer at any point in your life.
I'm not sidestepping around it. It's just that I have different priorities now, and I'm kind of like
you're too healthy, but I still feel like there's something that's not healthy about drinking like we drink.
Perry, life is about balance. I went for a 5-mile run today. I've been doing like 350 push-ups a day to keep in shape. Wow. And then I drink on Fridays and Saturdays.
I know.
It's all about balance.
The limit, there is no limit on Fridays for me. I'm allowed to do whatever I want. That's my one crazy night. But if I want another night of the week to have a couple things, then I can. But this week, I did my Zoom CrossFit class 5 days in a row.
Hell yeah.
5 days.
Hell yeah.
My ankle is enormous right now. It's so swollen. And if Evan from the Patreon team was like hearing me say that, he'd be so mad at me right now. But
yeah,
doesn't look good.
Yeah, no. You probably should. I mean, I had a hip injury just when this started, like the whole staying at home and stuff like that. So like I went from being able to use my elliptical at the gym to not being able to at all. And my hip wasn't great. And like running outside wasn't good. So, I mean, I started this whole thing with rehab basically. And I made an effort not to do what you're doing, Perry, so just be careful.
Look, Evan's there. I wasn't even sure if Evan was in the chat, but he's there, and he says he's mad.
Good, you should be mad.
Evan, seriously, Evan's one of the coolest. He's been part of my Patreon team since the very, very beginning, and I think I've chatted with him. Oh, hey, Steve, how you doing? I don't know what's that? Oh, no, I'm just like clicking every line now. I'm going to stop doing that, but I don't know. These guys are so freaking cool. I want you to meet more of them, Matt. They're just so smart.
The more that we do these things, the more I'm meeting people.
I know.
This is great. I love this.
Just seeing this chat go right now makes me so happy. But for the record, I'm trying, Evan. I bought a compression sock, and I think that's helping with the pain while I do the workout. But I still can't get like the swelling to go down. Like it's nothing out of control, but I see it. I don't know.
Probably be careful. I'm just saying.
So, Lonnie moved into her new house, and I've gotten in the habit of running over to her house, which is probably not what I should do right now. But
I get it.
Can I tell you a funny story about Lonnie? It's not that funny. It's like a really quick comment that she's going to get mad about.
Quick comment.
She fell down her stairs the other day. It's not even that funny because it's scary, but it's like they moved into a new house, and because they did it while all of this is going on, it's not like a snap your fingers and have like a fully furnished house kind of situation. Yeah. And her hat, and like, you know, if it's a wooden floor, the floors are slippery.
I have wooden floors and I slide around them, so I get that. I do the Tom Cruise thing. It's just like
I don't do that in my apartment. I do miss wooden floors. That's one thing that's like a little thing that I miss a lot about Manhattan. Is that there's none of that in LA, or at least not if you're not on a ground floor apartment.
No, that's fair. Hold on. Billy asked a little while ago, a few minutes ago. I just saw the corner of my eye mask tattoo. What is it? And could you show it? Sure, I can do that.
How have we not done this?
So this is hold on, I need to get the camera. My Scream pizza face tattoo. Basically, the quick version of the story is I wanted to get a tattoo and I had no idea what to get. And I kept making the joke that I wouldn't get a tattoo until it was something meaningful to me. And then I joked another day and on Twitter and kind of said, hey, someone draw me pizza and horror. That sounds cool. And one of my Twitter followers who's followed me for a long time, she's also an artist. And she just did a quick graphic design of pizza Scream face. And I was like, wait, hold on. This is my first tattoo. And she's like, wait, what? And I'm like, no, this is going to be my first tattoo. And so I took her design, went to my tattoo artist that I found and was like, basically hers was just more regular without the drippy stuff. And the tattoo artist basically did all the shading and he just added the drippies. And I'm so happy with it. So this whole arm is going to be food horror related. So what Perri and I are going to do right after we're able to go back in public is get tattoos, as we agreed to. And I'm going to add over here the candy cane from Anna the Apocalypse. That's like dripping blood. And also, if anyone has seen Dead Sushi, probably not. But I love my weird ass Japanese horror. Like that actually means a lot to me. And there's a movie called Dead Sushi. And the hero is a piece of egg sushi called Eggy. So I'm going to get him on my arm because I don't give a fuck about anything.
So you and Lonnie are in a race right now.
To do what?
Whatever happens first. If we're able to go to a tattoo parlor here and Lonnie will get a tattoo with me, she wins. But if I get back to LA and she hasn't pulled the trigger on that, I'm getting a tattoo with you.
I mean, in any case, we should just get tattoos anyway.
No, I probably would.
Because I'm doing mine no matter what.
I really want one in a place that's visible because I have 3 at this point and all 3 are in places that like I have to make an effort to show people.
It's I for my day job, I just want to keep things a little I don't know. You could
my day job. I want to be able to wear like a nice tie at my day job.
I have to sometimes. I'm sorry, Perri. I do have to do that. So like I can't walk into a freaking client meeting with like multi-million-dollar accounts and just be like, hey, also by the way, I'm covered in horror tattoos. Is that cool?
Like check
I don't care.
Pizza, please.
Yeah, I don't care. It's not something about me, but like my managers have alluded to the fact like, oh, that's a cool tattoo where it is. You probably shouldn't get one that people can see. And I'm like, okay. Cool.
So when we get a new tattoo, you're gonna put it like you're gonna build out your not like your sleeve, but your capped sleeve.
It's gonna go up basically.
I think I want it here, like on the inside, like where it sneaks out of my t-shirt, or on the other side where it sneaks out this way.
Yeah,
but
I like just seeing that part of it. It's just enough where like it's there, but like it's only on t-shirts.
So I think Lonnie doesn't like this idea, but so one of the very few things I found online that I'm into is like a familiar sister tattoo is that people keep getting arrows where it's like the arrows are pointing at each other where you can always find your way home. She doesn't like that idea. So I'm waiting for her to think about another one. But like if she doesn't come up with an idea first, what do I do next? Because I don't think I want the Star Wars tattoo anymore.
You don't.
I think there's too much negativity in the franchise where it's like, even though I love Star Wars and nobody's negativity will ever change that, I don't know. Like, I guess I still am kind of into the minimalist X-Wing idea.
It's a tattoo should have meaning to you. You shouldn't let anyone take away from that meaning. It's on your body. It's something that makes you happy and that you want to see every day. So for me, it's like, is getting an egg sushi on my arm like a terrible idea? Yeah, probably. but does it have meaning to me internally that I can look at it and like that's my appreciation of Japanese extreme horror? Yeah, and I kind of don't care what anyone else thinks about it.
Maybe I will still get my X-Wing, because it's like, I don't know, just talking it through, March of the Resistance is still a very big deal to me, and just like everything that an X-Wing pilot stands for.
So, again, why not? I know there's a ton of negativity, but also every fandom has negativity, and I know Star Wars is the worst, but also fuck that noise, just do what you want.
It's also because, like, when I was thinking about the X-Wing idea, I wanted it in the wrist spot, like a little guy right there. So I've just been envisioning that for so long that now that I've switched to like this spot or this spot, I'm a little uncertain.
You get more space. Well, you get more space too that you can do more you want. I can't
put the same thing in one of those spots, you know? It's like when I picture a tattoo in one of these spots, I picture it in it doesn't have to be an arrow, but in a line format. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm just reading comments and just laughing.
Appropriate time to be talking through like life-changing tattoo ideas.
Yeah, it's totally fine. Evan, I like Evan's comment of an arm tattoo will build your pull-up strength. Fact, so I approve of this idea. Yeah,
Evan's
so I did it.
The idea of me being able to do a pull-up, and
you'll get there someday.
I've been trying for a real long time. We have kind of been doing things to build towards it. So it's like nobody in my CrossFit class has a pull-up bar at home. So instead, we're doing a lot of like the coach that I keep working with is very into gymnastics movements, which include handstand push-ups. So we've been doing a lot of like things that build towards that.
I mean, flexibility is key. If you go on Arnold Schwarzenegger's Twitter that he posted, I think it was like yesterday or the day before, of him doing the full split on 2 chairs. Like, to be jacked is one thing, but it means nothing if you're not agile. Like, if you were jacked as hell and you just can't move, like, what the hell is the point? Like, to be like full rounded, you got to be flexible, you got to be strong, you got to be all that stuff.
I have a question. Do you hear all the dogs barking over
here?
I
do, yeah. The commenters are also saying, why do we hear dogs?
I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about it. So the routine over here that I have to live with right now is my parents, they eat dinner. And then immediately when they finish dinner and the plates are cleared, the dogs wait by the stairs. Then they come upstairs and Wally, the white dachshund, they have a very interesting dog scenario. So Wally, the white dachshund, I don't know why I'm even telling, I don't know what one thing has to do with the other, but Wally is deaf. So Wally loves the laser light. So he plays with the laser light, but he also has to eat half of a mini container of raspberry sherbet.
Okay.
I don't know. So that's Wally's routine.
What? Like, I love how that's a routine.
Gordy's for a dog. And Gordy is now blind. Gordy's routine is that my mom has this like ball machine where you put like little itty bitty tennis balls in it and it spits it out. And like you can hear him doing it now. As she puts the tennis ball in the machine, he sits there and he like does this like jump thing and he barks at the machine for her to put the ball in the machine, even though he can't see it.
Good for that.
I don't know.
I'm putting the Arnold thing.
Like that was probably so uninteresting to everybody listening, but that is what every 7 days out of the week, that is what we do after dinner.
Touche. I feel like we didn't talk about any movie stuff today.
I don't even know where Dewey is.
Should we talk about any movie topics at besides Scream today? I don't know. Is there any? What else?
I do fear that we're hitting that point where the movie news might be drying up a little bit. Like I'm not saying that there's nothing to talk about at all, but it I don't know. It felt like a lighter week as far as, big view getting stories go in comparison to, I don't know, like utility pieces that teach you that show you what you could watch on Netflix right now.
No, I agreed. Yeah. I mean, the only two things I pulled up were that Becky trailer and that King of Staten Island trailer. Mm-hmm. I mean, I
went to see King of Staten Island at, I think it was South by Southwest last year.
Yeah. This year. It was this year.
Was it this year?
We were all supposed to see it this year at South by Southwest.
All right. You're definitely right on that.
I mean, there was a bigger question there. King of Staten Island went to VOD, and it's like one of the first early ones. What do we think the next movie that's going to hit VOD like that is? Because we still have a lot of holdouts, but
Well, Lovebirds is going to Netflix, which is
Well,
another
that already went
cover at
Netflix.
South by, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. I don't know. Like the other thing that I keep thinking about is I know Christopher Nolan really wants Tenet to be the movie to bring people back, but that still feels too soon to me.
July is not happening for
I'm
Tenet.
very worried about the early openings right now. It's like I understand why people want to get back to it, whether it's, being stir crazy and just being cooped up at home and wanting to get out and be with people, or, for financial reasons, just wanting to get businesses up and running. But I would rather deal with those issues now and never have to go back into this kind of social distancing quarantine situation ever again. But I don't know. That doesn't seem like what everybody wants, and we're in such a situation now where like somebody else's decision is heavily dependent on what you do also. So it's too interconnected.
When I was going to say too, like I know, Tenet. Nolan wants Tenet to be the movie that breaks us all out of this, like you said. But also, do the studios want Tenet to be the movie that only plays to like a 3/4 or like a 1/3 audience in these new regulations? Like, I think that's the other big question too. It becomes, when theaters open, they're not going to be open full capacity. They're not going to be open in the same way. And it's all of a sudden like, okay, cool, Tenet will get people to the movies, but also like, do we want to risk Tenet on that kind of box office?
Here's some good comments. I have a whole string of them right now. Canadian Invincible Comics says some states already reopen movie theaters with limited capacity and temperature checks. So that right there, yes, you can go see a movie, but it already limits the amount that something like a Tenet could make.
100%.
And then, missed you. Sorry. T. Goslin says, unfortunately, most people can't afford to wait. And I don't know, like I know. And that's the heartbreaking, scary push-pull of all of this, is that like, I don't know. I understand like for your living, a lot of people can't wait, but I don't know. Do you prioritize your financial well-being, or do you prioritize health? I don't know. This is why I'm not in charge of anything.
Yeah, no, I mean, and it's too early. I hear Tenet is too important money-wise. Yeah, exactly. It is too important money-wise. And I don't think that's going to be the movie that they risk everything on. It's like, great, everyone come back to the movies, come see Tenet. But then if that doesn't work, and all of a sudden it becomes a thing of like, well, no one's ready to come back to the movies, and Tenet has now just bombed. I don't think that movie's going to be Tenet. I think that movie's going to be like the SpongeBob movie or some crap like that. Like, I think that's how you test the waters.
Even the SpongeBob movie, don't laugh that movie off. Those other feature films did very well, and I feel like even that movie is a movie that would prioritize like the widest possible audience. I don't know. Here is James W.'s thoughts. Social distancing is absolutely important, and theaters should remain closed for the rest of the year.
I agree. I mean, I 100% agree. The Alamo Drafthouse sent out a questionnaire to like everyone who's part of their membership or whatever, and it actually forced me to like think a lot about myself and being like, am I ready to go back to a theater? And talking about it, I keep saying like, what would get me in the theater? If the seat next to me was not occupied, would that be okay? If all these things. But in that survey, they asked questions that were like, well, if we can't fill a theater, would you be okay with having to spend at least $20 on food and drink? Would you be okay with like buying 2 seats and stuff like that? And all of a sudden now we're talking about like, all right, it was already $20 for me to go to the movies. Now you're going to tell me it has to be at least a $40 affair, and that's just on a ticket and food. It's dicey waters. It's just too early to tell that things should not be open. Everything's getting weird. And
here's Johnny's thoughts on the matter. Honestly, the quicker we go back, the more likely we're going to have to close again and for much longer. And I don't know. That's where I fall on the matter. Like I know that my financial situation is not the same as everybody else's, and like, who am I to tell you what you should do to make comfortable living yourself? But I don't know, if like, God forbid, if I lost my job tomorrow, I think I would still prioritize health and wellness above everything. And I just want people to be safe and healthy and not lose loved ones. And then I think the financial recovery comes after that. So I'd much prefer for things to stay closed for as long as necessary and then for us to come back after.
Yeah, and I mean, Red Hood has a good point where they say, is there a way movie theaters can make an online screening or something like that? They're doing that. Actually, the answer to that is virtual cinemas are opening, I guess we can call them. But what indie movies are doing, and I mentioned Porno last week. I think I mentioned this too, but Porno opened as part of this program of being a virtual cinema, and you could buy a ticket online, and you would get a watermark screener that is your copy. So you've purchased a ticket online for the movie that you will get to watch for a week, and it's your copy. But half of your ticket goes to the theater that you chose to give money to, and the other half goes to the studio. So it's still just like profitability wise, it's just like you're buying a ticket. Actually, it might even be better because it's more of a split now with just between a theater and the distributor. And honestly, this opens the door for indie movies to be seen on a more widespread audience, where like if a movie's going to open 10 theaters anyway, and it's only going to service New York and LA, if you do these virtual cinemas, now everyone across the country can see it. And that's a lot more people that can see this indie movie, but that's not going to work still for the mainstream titles. And that's the thing. I think those virtual cinemas are going to benefit indie movies. And I think that's a model that can work moving forward for indie. It's still not something that's going to work for the majority of like the multi-billion-dollar franchises.
I would be shocked if behind the scenes studios aren't working on a fully fleshed out approach to releasing a big budget blockbuster.
Yeah.
With, stay-at-home restrictions in mind. And I'm not just talking about what Universal recently said about, teasing closing windows. I'm just thinking, they have to have backup plans for things reopening, it not going well, and things shutting back down again.
And that's what everyone keeps comparing box office numbers of Trolls to like the first Trolls that opens. Yeah, exactly. It's not a 1-for-1. It's like, oh, well, Trolls 1 did this, but it's like, yeah, it did this in a non-pandemic world. The box office is not
that compares to everybody out there. If you read an article that compares the numbers released for Trolls in its first 3 weekends of release to what the first Trolls movie made at the box office for its first 3 weekends of release, just stop reading, because cliche, it's apples and oranges. It makes no sense.
It's two different worlds. Like, no, that's the biggest thing we all kind of have to think about a little bit. And I'm not trying to be a fucking conspiracy theorist. I'm not trying to like say anything like that, but things are going to change in little ways. And that little way could impact things more than you think, where theater experiences it's going to change. It's never going to be the same again for a little bit. And that's going to alter box office numbers. And that's going to change a lot of things too. So
we're winding down here.
We are.
Guys, we've gone way over, as we always do. Get in your last minute questions now. Because, Matt, I can't believe I haven't brought up your t-shirt. I really like that t-shirt.
Brewski Ball? I'm so sad. I haven't played Brewski Ball in
I can't
months.
Believe you haven't bought your own skee ball machine yet.
It's like $5,000. Yeah. So for anyone that doesn't know what the shirt is referencing, I am part of a skee ball league that is nationally recognized. It's I think we're in 13 cities at this point, and it is called Brewski Ball. And it's kind of like bowling scoring, and it is competitive, but it's also just super goddamn fun. And it is
fun.
It's one of the things that like you don't think about doing ever. You're like, oh, it's a children's game, it's a carnival game. But then you get a bunch of adults that are equally competitive, but also just want to like blow off steam on a Tuesday night, and that's Brewski Ball. I turned out to be actually good at it, which is the other thing where it's like Gainesville was where the championship was this year, and I was hoping to represent the LA team. I don't know if that's going to happen anymore, but yeah, yeah.
I want to play some skee ball. I'm
Dude,
not
me
that
too.
bad.
Hold on, we have a question we have to answer.
Wait, what? Which one? Oh, no, I didn't. I knew you were going for this one, right? So, all right.
I'll make you watch it whenever you want.
Did I fill everyone in on what I've been up to earlier? Or did you say like what you were working on this week?
You said the Blumhouse thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, between the Blumhouse thing the Mother's Little Helpers thing. I also I have Lauren Lapkus on an upcoming episode of Ladies Night, and we're talking about her new Netflix movie, The Wrong Missy. So I watched a lot for that. And I watched How to Build a Girl for an interview with Beanie Felds. So it's just like what basically happens is every single time I say I want to watch that, and that, then all of a sudden I wind up with all these interviews that reprioritizes what I have to watch now. So like I just have another time.
I think.
And also I binged all of Dead to Me season 2.
Oh God. Okay. Yeah, that's
so good.
I'm just saying the time that you did all that in is a short time frame, and you somehow found a time.
It's so crazy too, because like when I think about how many hours a day I work, and like I'm not saying this like I have a problem with it, because I don't, and I think that might be the problem. But it's like I work on the Collider website, which I freaking love, from roughly 10 to 6 every day. And then I take from 6 to 9 to make videos for my own channel. And then at 9, I have to come in my room, like away from my parents and whatever they're watching, so I could watch whatever I need to watch for the next day. So like before you know it, it's like the day starts at like 9 o'clock and I'm going to bed at midnight, and it's just like things for content. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, my day job is 9 to 6. It's boring. No one cares about it. And then I watch a screener, and then I write about it, and then I pass out on my couch. I mean, that is my weekday cycle. That is what I do. So I understand 100%. But we also have to do a Demon One episode because it's leaving Shudder in the next week, I think.
Oh, are you serious?
I'm serious.
All right. Can we just like make it an official thing then? Next week is Demon Wind?
Sure.
I will 100% watch it.
If it's still on. I mean, I have the Blu-ray, so it's not a big deal for me, but
I will watch it on. You have my word. Like, screenshot this, save it forever. I will watch it for next week's show. But I also saw like something else that I wanted to share. There's a lot. Oh, Johnny was asking who's seeing Scoob next week. Speaking of
you know what? I want to see Scoob. Yeah, I'll be seeing Scoob.
I'm going to watch it soon because I do believe I'm doing interviews for that movie early next week. So I will have seen Scoob by next week as well.
I'm into the Hanna-Barbera universe.
I love Scooby-Doo. Lonnie's thing was always Scooby-Doo, but I still really liked it too.
Yeah, I'm 100% on that.
Just started Dead to Me. Should I stick with it? Yes, you should. Yeah. I guess, and you just started season 1 and you don't want to stick with it? I don't understand. Linda Carlini and Christina Applegate in that show are just everything. It's like they're two characters who do things that are seemingly unforgivable, but you still love them and want them to be friends. I can't fully explain it, but they're great. And season 2 is great. I'm trying to like plow through as many as I can right now. I think Andrew wants us to do a live watch of Demon Wind.
How do we make that work? I'd be so into that.
I don't know.
Also,
wait. I don't know if the brute. You know what's really funny, actually? So, do you know who Lauren Lapkus's husband is?
Oh no!
So when we were talking, I'm like, because she had said that for one of her own podcasts, she's like I just did a live watch of something and it went really well. I'm like, you know what? The only thing I live watched was in quarantine, your husband's stuff. I didn't
get into it farther than that, did you?
How I felt about it, but it was season 2. He should get her on it.
Yeah, no, I actually had 2 times this week where those negative reviews I wrote. One of the creators, like it's coming. Like the director of Human Zoo liked my review tweet, and I was like, oh no. But he was very nice. He was good. He said, I'm glad you wrote about it. Thank you for checking it out. And it was like, that's good. That's a good comment. And then one of the actresses who I won't name from Evil Little Things messaged me on the side and was like, hey, your review is hilarious. Thank you for writing it. At least it was fun to make the movie. And I was like,
yeah,
respecting the game. You know what?
It is what it is. You got to abide by certain, pillars if you want to be in this industry and do what we do. And
also,
as long as you back up your points and say them with a degree of professionalism, that's all people can ask.
Can we figure out a way to do beer pong next week?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
First, we should read this question so he knows that we're reading.
Wait, is Matt an MMA fan? No, I'm not. I do.
No, will they read our comments? Yes, we will. Yes,
You've been
we
answering
will,
comments the whole time.
Mustafa, and I will tell you that you should be able to scroll back and see our portion about Scream 5. What were we like a half hour into the video?
Not at all.
Something
It was
that?
like it was honestly like
I'm telling you, scroll back. It's all in there.
Hold on.
MMA? Is that what, oh
No, I was just confirming I'm not an MMA fan. I mean, I am. I watch it. I just don't go out of my way to watch it. I don't know.
right. I think we should say goodbye because
I think we should because we'll get stuck in this rabbit hole of.
I know we could. No, I'm not that.
Oh, my cocktail's almost done.
Yeah, I could use another one. And also I believe Haley might want to join us for a little behind the scenes chill time.
Oh, chill.
I don't know. Maybe we'll get her involved in a live broadcast at some point soon. But
Fine with that.
before I go, guys, I'm gonna put this up again because I don't know. It like if you're not doing anything tomorrow night, please come join us because one, all of the individuals involved in this chat are great and super talented, and also like I don't know, I love Blumhouse and I want this to go really well, and I want to have more opportunities to work with Blumhouse in the future. So if you guys have the time, please come join us tomorrow night. I can assure you it will be a great conversation. And yeah, please and thank you.
Yeah, down with it.
Sweet.
Do we have to
If
do
you're
like
down with it, then it's smooth sailing.
Do we have to do a sign off with like our handles and things?
Please do all your handles, and I would also plug a certain Nerdist piece you wrote.
I mean, you can follow me at Donatova on Instagram, Letterboxd, and Twitter. You can also read my work I just went on Nerdist. I had a nice little piece about basically why we should be supporting indie cinema right now. I was pretty proud of that because as people have said in the chat and have been saying the whole time, after all this is done, studios are still going to be around, but indie cinema is going to get hit the hardest by this. And especially if, all these VOD titles are getting overlooked for the big movies that come out and now are going to DVD or sorry, not DVD, VOD. I don't know. It's weird. So yeah, support indie cinema. Go read my piece at Nerdist. Just follow me and I'll tell you where I'm writing my weird ass shit.
You're going to enjoy that weird ass shit. I promise you that. And you'll enjoy this episode when we come back next week because this is fun. We have fun. We want to make sure you have fun and that you're enjoying your happy hour. You know what time it is, Matt? Time for another drink. Cheers, guys.